It's always worse than that. It was really this type one. And there were, so I had to do that reflect. Same flight, but then I went to the reception. Okay. Well, of course, you also have to take some more time here. How are things?
That's pretty good.
I can imagine. The most liberal. Situation like it feel that I still need to go into AI. Not just precisely.
But I think that's interesting. AI. There's exactly the difference of being
At some point, maybe videos definitely quicker. It's actually even for, I'm attending a new AI conference the week after next in London. It's really interesting because it's actually something that we really should think about it more. There's so many related issues around everything.
and also what is the they can influence our behavior by very stuff. It's a little bit upside down. When you meet everyone has to show up. Everyone has to say to make it work. So it's a monopoly situation basically where people trying to give them
Those monopolies are kind of breaking up. With Google, probably not as much.
maybe
The user numbers are declining up. It's not due to the scandals. It's due to the entropy. You know, if your parents, Facebook is now old school.
Yeah, Snapchat, my girls, but they're like 19 to 35, and my oldest daughter, Facebook is out.
You're right.
So the kids, they can go by Facebook.
Yeah.
But they're on Instagram rather than Facebook.
Well, that's the obvious with Facebook. It's all algorithm and keep them all together. They're grounded. I always find it interesting when people say to your point, Facebook is for free. Because of course it is absolutely just paying.
We are giving them our info, and that's the basic of the lost business model. And also, that goes also, we are working a lot of like film production companies, and how to distribute from their side. I remember when Louis C.K., you know, he actually did his own sitcom, and he has put it up. Because he was money, and then he can start to earn a lot of money, you know, in the investment, and they sell it up. So if you own the product, one step further, Netflix, you know, the other has to really raise the margin, because now they're trying to lower the margin. So I think that's one of the, in a couple of years, I think it will be more distribution content. It's more democratic. Also better for the important. It's better, you don't need that big machine to do it. Because if that's the case, you have that's bad.
Actually, again, AI I will.
Because that's interesting.
It definitely is. Yeah, this is awesome. This time I need
As it's all here.
It would be awesome.
Let's ring the bell outside. If people will feel more comfortable to sit in the front, I think it'll be fun. Because we want it interactive. If you're comfortable there,
Yes, come on.
come on. To see the handsome Dr. Wilcom and the shoes. And the shoes. So, the number one, first guy in the IMG.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Guys, hello. Let's say it will be the most difficult time of the day. The last panel, normally they put the most, let's say, exciting one. Morten, the head of education, will let you know. It's like a challenging.
It is the most exciting.
The most exciting one, specifically for Morten from Scandinavia. It's an honor for us also to have Morten here. So guys, so thank you for joining. I really hope that you will enjoy this panel. That will be educative as well as informative. I managed to have here a super group of speakers, and I think it will be really interesting to see each one of them about their own home regulation, about what they think will happen in the next few years. And we compiled really nice topics to discuss. And without any further delay, let's start introducing them one after another, our super group of great experts from the Nordic region, from Scandinavia. So let's start with Nina Henningsen. Nina Henningsen is from Horten. Horten is a very leading firm in Denmark. They do lots of gaming law. And Nina herself was very instrumental and influential in the democratization and the liberalization of the Danish gaming licensing regime in 2012. So since 2012, Nina herself was very active. I remember we also met and discussed last year in the conference, which was 1 year ago in Copenhagen, the status, since we have some mutual clients. And I think that Nina is a great speaker to join us in this panel on the Nordic State of Affairs. So thank you, Nina, for joining us. You came today.
I came today, yes.
Good time. Well done. After we have Ilka. Now it's Ilka, it's I-L-K-K-A, Ilka Altor Setala, and each A has 2 dots above, you know, the Finnish alphabet. It's really creative in the way that they write it. And he's from Borenius Attorneys Limited. Sounds like a company, but they are a company, it's explained to me, but they are one of the leaders in Finland. Finland has a very interesting state of affairs, and I think that it's an honor for us to have here Ilka with us on this panel. Thank you for joining us, Ilka. Thank you. Next, we have Rolf Sims. Now, Rolf Sims doesn't sound very Scandinavian name, because it's not actually from Scandinavia. The family, some of them came from Norway and some from South Africa. The accent is totally South African, I would say, more similar to Jamie Nenton than to, let's say, to Ola. But again, an expert. Rolf Sims, his history started, in the government. He moved through several governments. So once it was with the Ministry of Justice and the Police. Then he moved to the Ministry of Culture in Norway. And since August, he joined a company that is like a conglomerate company, a large company, originally called Unibet. Now some of us know it as Kindred. They are listed on the Nordic, on the Nasdaq in Stockholm. Have a market share of almost £1 billion. Currently, it goes up and down like every public company, and it's a honor for us, Rolf, to have you here. And now, currently, in Kindred, you're managing the state of affairs in Norway, which is nice. And you sit in the office, in the Norway office of Kindred. Yes. Okay, great. So thank you for joining us, Rolf. Thank you. And last but not least, we call him sometimes the Keith Richard of Nordic gaming, or we call it lots of, but I know I met him a few years ago already in Stockholm, in the iGaming forum, where you led a very interesting discussion. And then I read you translated part of the Swedish draft of the new legislation to English, which is very unique. I remember 2 years ago you were working with another firm, and now you actually opened your own firm, which is called Wickland Law. This time you came Karl, I saw one of your associates is sitting here, I think. And then, and also I met Matthias Kemmening, also a nice guy, who was also working with you in that film. So let's say that Dr. Ola Wilco is one of the go-to experts in Scandinavian and Swedish for licensing in Sweden. So thank you again, Dr. Ola, to join us. And I hope that we'll have a stimulating discussion with all of these 4 speakers from 4 different jurisdictions, all in Nordics. Great. So now, after we know each one of us, let's start. I want to hear from each one of you a brief outline, because I see here people from the States, from the UK, regulators, IGM members, and many, we have let's say a heterogeneous crowd. I would like, first of all, to start with hearing a bit of each one of them, each one of the speakers about his own licensing regime in his hometown. Let's start with Nina Henningsen.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be very brief. As you probably all know, Denmark is a very well-regulated country. We liberalized the Gaming Act in 2012, partly, and then the rest of it was liberalized half a year ago, or 1.5 years ago. And it is very well functioning. We have a lot of the major operators in Denmark. It's working with taxation, AML, and the Danish gambling authorities are very efficient. So right now, the focus is mainly on marketing issues and also AML issues in Denmark. That's where the political scope is. So a very well-regulated area, and I think Sweden is very inspired by the Danish regulations. So I think I'll hand over to Ola, who is in the middle of the liberalization.
Yes, thank you very much. For the listeners, it could be a good idea to understand some of the political context of our Nordics. And I think Sweden, Norway, and Denmark are more similar when it comes to history and tradition and culture and ideology, basically. We had had 40 years of social democratic government in the last century. And I think our way started in the late 80s for different reasons. Finland and Sweden became members of the European Union, Denmark as well, and Finland became part of the euro, and then we took different paths, basically. So I'm not sure that, maybe I can agree with Nina to some extent that we were inspired by Denmark, but still Sweden had, on the Swedish Stock Exchange, I was actually, I advised Kindred Group or Unibet as they were in 2003 when they went to the stock market. So now the 10 largest Swedish listed companies has a market cap of 10 billion euros on the Swedish stock exchange and making tons of money. I think that was one of the driving forces for the Swedish government. They just told themselves, we need some of their money, let's try to tax them. I think that's, to be honest, one of the most strongest driving forces. But I will tell you a little bit more. Sweden is now, today, not regulated, but it will be the 1st of January next year. And my law firm, my young colleague Carl is in the room dealing with licensing applications, so our summer has been destroyed with license applications. And I reckon it will be around like 80, 90 new entrants on the Swedish market. And the Swedish market is already flooded with gaming services and marketing as it is now, even though it's not regulated. So and we will have a pretty nice regulations along the lines with the Danish ones. There are some differences, but we will have an 18% tax on VDR, and we will have a bonus prohibition. We will have some peculiarities when it comes to gaming responsibility, but apart from that, it's pretty much straightforward, and it doesn't that much differ from the UK one. There are small differences, but not big ones. But I think the biggest difference is that Sweden is not a big market.
In terms of what? In terms of players,
in terms of like turnover, basically, but the competition will be fierce. There will be so many companies, and I think the channelization will be pretty high in the beginning, but we'll see. But we'll discuss that more today. I think some of the major operators are not going in with all their brands, maybe, because they're not that confident that the Swedish system will probably turn out well, because it's a framework law, and as we have seen in the UK, conditions and regulations can change over time. So it can become less favorable for the operators down the line.
Thanks, Ola. I'll just add to what Ola said, maybe clarify. Actually, Ola, you mentioned that in the Scandinavian markets, we spoke about specifically about Stockholm, there are many gaming companies, but they are not licensed, obviously, in Sweden, because as of yet, the process only started. So when you mentioned that most of them are licensed in Malta and other .com.
Yes, they're mostly licensed in Malta.
In Malta, okay? So that's interesting. It also brings us back again to have here members of the MGA who we met yesterday also in the reception, and it's interesting to see and to see how this will continue and have an influence. What about Finland? As I said, Finland is very unique.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. In Finland, we have a legal monopoly, Veikkaus Oy, which is owned by the government and which is the sole operator in Finland.
How do you say the name?
Veikkaus.
It's one of the guys Finnish.
That's right.
Philippine, right?
Yes, that's true. And earlier we had actually 3 license holders, but they merged as of 1st of January 2017. And not because of the European Commission's demands, but it was felt that and understood that it's more consistent and more systematic in arguing the legal monopoly. And moreover, the idea was possibly that the new entity could procure in a more efficient way all kind of software and different kind of games. So we have nowadays only one operator, but coincidentally, earlier this week, the head of the Finnish Competition Authority made a very clear statement that the next legislature should consider whether to abolish the monopoly. And the reason being that that according to the general director, Veikkaus is rather aggressive in marketing. So the whole idea is to protect public health obligations and the authority thought that it contradicts that purpose. So this is news of the week, and this is a state of the play at the moment, and next year we will have parliamentary elections, and it remains to be seen whether this issue will come up in the discussions, possibly.
I wonder if we compare, so the market size, so Sweden will be larger than Denmark, but Denmark larger than Finland. How does it go regarding size? We have Iceland, which we will not mention because of 200,000 people, but how does it go regarding size?
According to the statistics, things pays around 2 billion in these services altogether.
Very Okay. So we heard about Nina from Nina and from Ola, and we heard from Ilka. Wolf, who worked for the government in Norway now in the private sector. What can you tell us about the current state affairs in Norway? I believe that some of us being 5 years ago in Oslo in the IGL conference there. I met you there also, and things have been changing.
Yes. Okay, I think Norway is generally regarded as being one of the most restrictive jurisdictions in Europe when it comes to gaming. And the main foundation of the Norwegian market is two state monopolies for national lotteries, scratch tickets, sports betting, slot machines, horse racing, other number games, as well as online casinos and online sports bottles, all in the monopoly field. We also have quite a major private lottery sector, land-based bingo, gaming on ferries, and also scratch tickets. In Norway, we don't tax gaming. All the state monopolies don't pay any form of tax. All the revenues go to good causes. From the private lottery sector, they are run by private operators, but they have to pay a certain percentage of their revenues to good causes, charities, sports, culture, etc. President Norway, the current politics is to maintain a monopoly. In 2013, we got a new government in Norway, consisting of the Conservative Party and the Progressive Party. The Progressive Party wants to abolish the monopoly and introduce a licensing system, and the Conservative Party wished to maintain the monopoly. So as a political compromise, they decided to undertake an assessment and an evaluation of a possible licensing system for the Norwegian market. And this ended up in a parliamentary report, which I wrote about when I was working in the industry. And in that report, it was recommended to Parliament that one should maintain the monopoly as long as it functions. The day that the monopoly doesn't function and doesn't manage to channel players, then we should think differently. And this was supported by Parliament, so this is structuring at present.
Very interesting. And it's interesting to know that Norway is actually not part of the EU. You know, here within the Czech Republic is part of the EU. Norway is EEA, right?
It's EEA, and it's a membership that I would say, but let's not discuss that now.
But so maybe also this shows us maybe the rationale of the
point is that all EU European Union directives and the internal markets are applicable to Norway, as well as all court rulings from the ECJ.
Interesting. Want to add something on?
Sure. But one thing that would be interesting as well regarding Sweden is that we have a very high penetration of internet access. It's 97%. The level of education among people is pretty high, and our corporate tax is pretty low. You pay in the high 20s corporate tax, and for dividends you pay 20%.
Which is low. It says low, but if you compare it to Bulgaria is 12.5%. Bulgaria is 10%, Cyprus 12.5%. So maybe it's low considered maybe to Norway, no? Wolf? Yeah. How much is it in Norway?
The tax?
The corporate tax.
Well, corporate tax I think is around, but like I said, the state monopolies don't pay any corporate tax. No. They're exempted from tax law.
But generally, if you're
around, I think around 30-35%.
Okay, so now I see your point.
But the income tax in Sweden is very high.
Compared to Norway.
Yeah. But if you earn like 30,000 Swedish krona, you get 24,000 in your wallet. So it's high on the high income.
Okay, very interesting. So first of all, that's it was important to understand and to straighten the line regarding what we have here. And so thank you also all for the comment. I would now like to talk, let's say, about the sensitive issue, a sensitive topic, but here, it's an IMGL conference and we can deal also with, let's say, more sensitive issues, and we'll speak about the sanctions. Okay, we have here regulators in the room, we have lawyers, we have operators, and let's speak about sanctions, because we all know the good law, what is the bad law, but we know that the law should be effective, and let's now speak about sanctions. What happens when, let's say, you have a .com license, .com operator operating in a certain jurisdiction without a license. We also saw today Robert from Saska group spoke about what's happening here in the Czech Republic. We have the people also from Czech Republic. We will also testify that if you have a non-compliant operator, they can actually, the ISP can block it, the payment will be blocked. I want to hear about sanctions in your jurisdiction. So let's start with Nina. Yeah, with pleasure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I told you that Denmark is a regulated and licensed country, and it's quite easy that if there is a .com which do not have a license and they aim their marketing against Danes, then the Danish authorities will go out and IP block them. And it works very efficient. There's a cooperation between the telecommunication providers, and if they get an injunction against one of the telecommunication providers, they will all block this web page. And it is very efficient. There is a kind of grey area, the DGA do not like that we mention it, but there is. But if you offer games or take bets from Danes, but you do not aim your marketing, then you can actually do that without being blocked. So it is when an online provider aim their marketing against Denmark, then they have to have a license, follow the Danish regulation, and else they'll be blocked. And if they do not aim their marketing against Denmark, then they can actually accept bets from Danes. So there is quite a grey area there, and nothing is done right now.
Thank you. As to your question, a foreign operator can have a Finnish-speaking website and they can advertise there. It's not illegal at all at the moment, according to the current interpretation of law. But in case of breach of the Finnish Lotteries Act, Finnish police authority can issue orders, and they can issue a compulsory fine, and it's also a breach of. It's also a criminal act if you breach the law. But most commonly these matters go via administrative route. So it's more common that the police department, which administers this area, contacts, but not with the warrant or anything like that.
Interesting. So if I understand correctly, what Ilkka said, so Finland is quite different than what Nina Henningsen explained in Denmark. I remember when we spoke on the phone, so listen, that issue is quite, different in places, and Nina said, come on, in Denmark, she said it proudly, not proudly, but yeah, we dance. We're used to payment blocking, but what she now said is something which is new to me, that there's actually, I know that there are other jurisdictions as well, there's a distinction between active marketing and what we also call it's also in the CFD, in the forex industry, self-registration or self-onboarding. What actually Nina says that if your site, if I understand correctly, does not target actively Danes, but allow Danes to come to hear from a friend and come on board themselves independently, that is the difference, right?
Yeah, then you can bet on that website and you can't be blocked.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so that's an interpretation of the scope of the Danish Act. This is the way it is.
So like self, then active marketing. And you say, if I understand correctly, it exists, but normally, if I open a Curaçao license and I take someone Finnish and make him sit in the Caribbean or sit, I don't know, in Asia and target in your Finnish language clients in Helsinki, okay? It's not, the blocking is not something which is automatically or frequently seen.
The authority is not allowed to block anything, but there's a group of civil servants discussing this, and they will issue a report whether any kind of technical measures are needed in the future. But nowadays, currently, it's really possible to have a website in Finnish providing these services.
Interesting. Thank you, Eka. Ola, currently most of the operators working in Swedish markets are, as you said, licensed normally, .com licensed normally, either in Curaçao, but most popularly, there's a large Swedish-speaking community in Malta. Even one of your colleagues, Marcus, lives in Malta as a Swedish. So what happens in terms of sanctions?
Yeah, presently all operators are going rogue in Sweden because there are a limited window now to do thrashy marketing and go after all the casino customers. But from the 1st of January, with all unlicensed gambling, promoting, marketing will be sanctioned by criminal law. No payment blocking, but you can actually ask a court for payment blockings. But the transgression of this prohibition to issue payments is not criminalized, but the sanction penalties are pretty high. And we don't do IP blocking for constitutional reasons in Sweden. It would be too complicated.
It's funny that it's such different, like Denmark and Sweden. Like
We only have IP blocking, we don't have financial transactions.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So in Denmark, as you all hear, you have IP blocking, you don't have financial blocking, and all I mentioned that in Sweden, the idea is exactly the opposite. IP blocking is probably not constitution. Probably if it was in the States, we would say that it's against the freedom of speech or something like this, right?
Yeah, but since I'm pretty old, some of my friends they reach high positions in the Swedish society. So I know the head of police and the head of the prosecutor's office, and I asked them when I saw the Swedish law, oh guys, now we have to chase executives around Europe and try to put them in jail. And they said, both of them could never do that, we don't have these resources. So in practice, enforcement of these sanctions, I'm not sure that will be, but you can still also see in other jurisdictions in Europe, no one is actually enforcing it. Germany is trying to start
Germany, UK, and if you can see, and if you put and compare it from what's going on in other industries like the financial activities, okay? So the FCA in London is very actively monitoring what's going on against UK residents, and if you take the analogy to what's going on in the States, the States, the SEC, the CFTC are very, very active. So.
But I don't think it will be harsh enforcement against gaming executives in Europe. I don't see that. It's so much resources to put in, and the end result will be mean, I think.
Interesting. Thank you. Wolf, what's going on in Norway?
Well, in Norway, we only actually have two licensed operators. There are two state lottery companies, one for horse racing and the other one for national lottery, online casinos and sports betting. So in Norway, we have payment blocking, and there's a stringent enforcement of marketing bans, and also the NGA, the Norwegian Gaming Authority, can issue orders, administrative orders of compliance and fines for .com companies overseas. The big problem in Norway is that there's no jurisdiction. Norwegian authorities can get court rulings, they can give orders, but there's no way they can actually enforce these orders and rulings outside Norway. The presidents in Norway were considering a tightening up of the payment blocking, and Norway is also considering DNS blocking and introducing wider powers to target affiliates and other accessory involvements into the distribution and offering of non-licensed gaming.
Has it been like, is there any examples of things that you read about or heard about in the industry that, let's say, an affiliate who targeted Norwegian clients or an operator sitting in Curaçao and Malta that targets against?
So they can be targeted by the Norwegian Gaming Authority with orders, but then again, they have no jurisdiction outside Norway. So how can you actually enforce an order of corporate?
Yeah,
So
but
that's a big challenge for Norwegian authorities.
it's a big challenge, but you can say the same that the US doesn't have jurisdiction outside of the US, but you do see the US authorities chasing people all around the world.
That's not correct.
Well, okay, that's it.
Because the European jurisdictions, Germany, Sweden, Norway, and Nordic countries, we have never claimed that we have extraterritorial jurisdiction. But the US, they have.
Okay,
Both
so
when it comes to
there's-
criminal. Otherwise, the FIFA wouldn't have, scandal wouldn't have exploded. That was the DOJ, actually.
Now I see. Okay, interesting. Thank you. Okay, so we spoke about payment blocking. We spoke about it's part of the sanction that can be if let's say if an operator is non-compliant. Now let's take a step further. Let's say we're speaking out now. You know, you're working for Kindred, as you say, a major company, and also ILCA has been advising some of your clients who are major, the public broadcasting authority in Finland, but also other players, and of course. So what I'm trying to think about a scenario where you have, let's say, a company, a gaming operator. Let's say a typical gaming operator, whether it's listed on the Stockholm Nasdaq or not, but has few arms, okay? And let's say one of the licensed entities is compliant. Let's say the one that Nina is advising, and it sits in Denmark. And then you have another one, another entity, which is not really compliant. It does whatever they want. Now I want to think, and let's try to discuss it according to what we think, and what effect can this have on the company? If it has several subsidiaries, affiliated companies, several brands. You know, we all know that you can be a gaming operator with 1,000 sites, and there are operators that have tens and hundreds of different sites and different brands and different white labels. What do you think can be the effect? Ola, what do you think?
As the Swedish law is drafted, it concentrates not on the corporate group as an entity, or rather as the license holder. The license holder is always connected to one corporate entity. So I think that's the point of departure of the Swedish law. So you can't really say that the whole group would be contaminated. But you have to check whether the mother company or holding company or whatever the corporate governance is actually controlling these companies when they're making their business decisions. So it's a tricky question, and but it might be more a theoretical question than a practical question.
I don't think it's theoretical because if you remember correctly, and I'll hear from Rolf in a minute. 2 or 3 years ago we had a discussion. I remember it was in ICE in 2015, and Jenny Williams was then working for the Gambling Commission. She was with us on the panel, and that period, the UK authorities did lots of let's say chased and after companies that had like a Curaçao license in the group. So part of the idea is that you cannot have a Curaçao licensed entity in the group and at the same time have a GC. You can say it's wrong, you can say it's right, but that was the idea then. So now you say that...
But you can have like a Malta-based entity who is not directing their games to the Swedish market. You can make the offer more neutral, and then you will probably escape the Swedish jurisdiction. Because they've actually changed the concept in the Swedish law. Before it was the one who arranges or organizes the law. Now it's the one who makes it accessible and that directs the services to a certain jurisdiction.
Since in Israel, there is no game. I'm from Tel Aviv, and it says here's exactly the terminology. Me'argen mishakim asurim. That's in Hebrew and English. It's exactly what you said. It's organizing. Yeah. Well, now we're speaking like in Sweden. It's like a less. Yeah. It's allowing to be accessible. What about that?
In Norway, generally, we feel that such a practice would undermine a modern, well-founded, good licensing system. And we don't believe that you can keep brands outside a license and offer back to a jurisdiction you have license with other brands. I mean, either have license with all the brands, we don't do that. And in Kindred, compliance is at the heart of the company, and we would always migrate our customers from a .com to local with a license and not keep brands on the outside.
Kindred has currently, you're in Norway.
We have 11 licenses. 11 brands.
Which jurisdictions are Kindred licensed currently?
I don't know the list in my head, but it's Denmark, Belgium, Italy, Spain, France. We have a license in Australia and Estonia.
Estonia is a tiny market, but still have it.
And we applied a license to Sweden.
Really?
Yeah,
Already?
Yeah, but the point is, if you got a Norwegian license, you wouldn't keep certain brands outside the license and still target Norway from outside.
So if I understand correctly, and it's probably would be similar also to other jurisdictions, what actually, and of course, Rolf is coming from Kindred, which is again, is a major player, but Rolf sees that, if you want to have a well-established brand, you cannot play games, you need to make sure that all the brands are it's interesting, because it's like totally different approaches. Most of, the players now, as you say, are probably going towards what Ola said, say, listen, you can still play, use the same technology as long as you play by the rules in each and every place. So you can use a Curaçao license for targeting certain German-speaking clients if it's okay by those local rules. But it's interesting to see what's going on in Sweden, Nina. What do you think?
No, ask Ola about Sweden.
Sorry, that one. Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an issue in Denmark. The DGA is seeking for information about the alternative owner and licensees, and that is it. So it has never been up for discussion what other parts of the group is doing, and everything is investigated very well, and hasn't been an issue.
Hasn't been an issue. So it's exactly, if I understand correctly, in Denmark, as Nina says, is similar to what's going on in Sweden. And it's strange that in Sweden, it's so strange. It's not even well established. The process itself, exactly as you mentioned, it's all in the same. It's all in money. We've been representing one of our clients, which is a Maltese company. Also, in your process, in some of the technical issues, the POA you don't have. You say that in order to submit the application, you need to POA. You don't have a draft form of a POA. So me as an Israeli, I had to draft a POA for that Maltese company to see would it be applicable to Swedish law? I don't know. It's very, it's quite strange, I can tell you. I hope that it will be successful. What's going on in Finland?
It hasn't been an issue in Finland either.
Hasn't been an issue?
It has not been an issue.
Okay, so we say that you take a look of the entity per se or the entity itself?
The entity per se as a legal approach in general, but whether that can be challenged, it really hasn't been an issue, but a very, very interesting question though.
Yeah.
But Nina, the problem will occur because the nightmare for my big clients is actually if the channelization reaches like 50-60%, then they are stuck in the mud, in the quicksand, they can't really reverse out of it. And if you exclude one of the big corporate groups, your channelization level will go down drastically, and then the whole licensing system would be a big failure. And so that's the risk.
No, there's a policy issue that is very interesting. What about other national laws that are relevant that we can see in acting in this phase? Ilkka, you spoke about something that really happens now in Finland that has some effect, and you mentioned it before, and you can please explain more about it.
I mean, what's luring there? What will happen next? Well, there is this. First of all, there is this group discussing whether technical measures are needed, and my personal view is that they might face constitutional issues.
Again, like Ola said,
yes, also in Finland, and EU issues as well. And when it comes to payment blocking, then we have SEPA issues as well. I'm a little bit skeptical whether they will come up with anything serious.
But how come that Nina explains that in Denmark it's such, let's say, why is this, we all see Scandinavia, especially people who are coming outside of Scandinavia, why is this so different?
So that's a long story.
All the victims are the same,
We have different tradition and of course the Finnish government is under pressure because of Denmark and because of the steps taken in Sweden and because of the fact that online gaming prevails. So it's almost impossible to restrict playing in other foreign websites. So ultimately I think we will end up to a similar situation. you're right there. But so far we have different.
But Tal, I think one of the biggest differences is that, you know, I had dinner with the president of the Israeli Supreme Court once, and he had, you know, we have been treating him well in Sweden, going to the opera and so. And then he said, yeah. And then he said, oh, we would like to have you Swedes as neighbors. But then my friend the professor from the Sorbonne said, but they don't want us. So that goes with Finland, because Finland has had the Soviet Union by the borders, you know, for many, many years. And Denmark, Norway, Sweden hasn't really had that pressure. So that's part of the explanation of that different history. And also the language, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And technically people talk about Scandinavia as if Finland were part of it, but Finland is part of Scandinavia, yeah. Swedish part, and Norway's part.
Yeah.
It's actually, Helsinki is like,
Center, in the center, yes.
yeah, and also it's, you're near Estonia, it's like very, and your time zone is like Tel Aviv, so it's like, it's very, very, very interesting. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So you spoke about a specific technical group that actually, as you say, are not considering whether it would be possible and feasible to do technical measures in order for doing blocking.
Yes.
Interesting. Is there something that now in the, let's say, national or something that is now in the planning in Denmark, Tina?
As I mentioned in the beginning, the focus is right now from the political side to have a control over the marketing. They think the marketing, especially the bonus system, has gone crazy. The funny thing is that it's actually the Danish monopoly company which has been leading with these bonuses. However, they claim they will accept that there's a restriction of bonuses. So I think that's where the focus is, that's on the marketing and of course the implementation of the fourth AML directive, which was introduced last year. So that's the focus in Denmark.
But Tal, you also have to understand that the state first of Norway is filled with oil money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it could be more a moral issue than a pecuniary issue, you know, to issue a licensing system in Norway.
Sure. So if I understand correctly, in Denmark, if
You're the prince here.
yeah, you know, when I understand correctly, there is nothing, it's not a specific measure that you speak, but you see an industry trend to make sure that operators are compliant with advertising, do not target vulnerable clients, etc. And also,
that's all regulated and it's under control and they're supervised by the authorities and they're very efficient. So there are just new legislation on its way. It's being debated how they shall make a tighter regulation.
I was really surprised that in Denmark, in Copenhagen, when we were on the dinner in Tivoli, and then the table was sat with you, and with like 6 or 7 lawyers from the regulator,
Yeah.
very friendly, you know, also Malta is very friendly, has also a very friendly regulator and very nice legal team from the MJ, but it was nice to see the dialogue also on, you know, lots of specific issues, eating and enjoying. So yeah, what was going on? So, yeah.
Norway, the big thing with legislation is the tightening of payment blocking. We have had payment blocking in Norway since 2010. And the objective in the white paper was mentioned in the objective was not to stop online gambling, but to create a hurdle, an obstacle. And Norwegian authorities admit today that payment blocking hasn't worked. I mean, people are still playing online. Overseas, my company is still doing business in Norway. So there is a proposal.